Hello everyone, welcome now to game number 3 in this series where Hero has fallen behind 2-0 rather quickly over or against Revival. Hero spawning as the top right hand side on the top right hand side of the map as the red Protoss. Meanwhile on the bottom left we see Revival spawning as the blue Zerg. Zerg versus Protoss here on MLG Daybreak, an oldie but a goodie. Casting games on maps such as these is just a little bit of a little bit of fresh air for me, since I've been casting so many games on the more standard maps. Just having a little bit of map variety, having a larger map pool, having games that are not always the same really opens things up for me. It really feels like every season there starts to be about 7 maps that every game is always played on. But if you could really double that up to 14, I know that the players would absolutely hate it, as there is just so many more build orders and so many things to take into consideration. But as a caster, there are different strategies and things aren't nearly as set, in at least in my mind, knowing what's going to be happening every step of the way. Overlord of Revival about to fly inside here. What is Hero going to do here on Daybreak? Is he going to set up a gateway first? No, it looks like he's going to be going for a Nexus first again. Hero constantly going for that very early Nexus or a Forge Fast expansion, but this might be a straight up Nexus first, knowing that he really needs to get on the board. He cannot afford to fall behind 3-0. Falling behind 3-0 in terms of any, well, best of 7 series, having that 3-0 advantage is really a huge just comeback, nearly impossible comeback. We can see that the probe is now wandering around here. There is that pylon, as the probe going to be doing a bit of scouting as he does spot that Overlord who is now inside his base. Meanwhile, Revival is already coming in with 6 Zerglings. This could be extremely bad news. 6 Zerglings, 2 more now on the way, as 4 are already running across the field. Are we going to see that gateway? Yes, we're going to see a gateway. Are we going to see a photon cannon? Yes, we are as well. But this is going to be cutting it extremely close. The Zergling here does spot everything. Are the Zerglings going to run about in a different manner? No, they're going to run past this Zalnaga tower here. The probe knows that something is going on, and now we need to see more photon cannons. Are we going to see an additional gateway, or perhaps even an additional pylon or 2 that may be helpful? As the Zerglings, oh, what is going on here? The gateway does not do very much. Cancels that there, was hoping to make a wall, did not do it, as the Zerglings are now going to just run rabid inside of this base here. Only 4 Zerglings, though, as the photon cannon is up. The probes are going to fight back and now try and just try and mine more minerals again. The Zerglings getting in some easy shots there. 1 probe may get taken down. As you can see, the other Zerglings that are lower on hit points are trying to be microed as well. All right, this small cautionary battle between both sides. Harvester count 23 to 21. Hero, if he doesn't lose that many workers, will have a huge advantage here, as the lower hit point probes are all now running back. Oh, there goes 1 worker. It looks like there goes 2. There goes 3. Wow, 3 quick kills in succession by Revival, giving him now the just a slight economic hill to climb up. Not going to be that big of a problem, though, as he's already setting up his 3rd hatchery and already has 2 queens in play. Yeah, if Hero had come out of that losing no probes, or maybe even 1, he would have absolutely loved that play, knowing that he came out ahead. Instead, he ends up losing more resources overall, 237 compared to 106, as we're now looking at a photon cannon taking down the metal plates here. Yeah, taking on the metal plates there, just so another building can be placed there when the time comes. Cybernetics core is operational. Warp gate tech should be coming online in just a moment. Not quite sure why it isn't. Even a slight delay there could be a big difference later on, as that Cybernetics core does help tremendously in training all units from those gateways. I don't think I've ever seen a High Templar, a Dark Templar ever trained from a gateway just straight up. It's always been a warp in just because the warping is so much more effective. It produces the building, produces the unit faster with not nearly as much cooldown. And now the Stalker is just going to run around here, perhaps make a bit of a play somewhere else, as the Stalker now goes up and perhaps is going to try and snipe down and shoot down that Overlord. Stalker engaging against a Zergling. No, the Zergling decides to back away. Doesn't want to get chased down by that Stalker, but the Stalker could get off an easy shot. Is the Stalker going to be able to cut that corner a little bit better? No, the Zergling just decided to stop and say cheese and get shot down there. Hero sitting here pretty defensively. He is going in with Phoenixes, going after these Overlords. The Overlords could get shot down, and this is going to force Revival to at least retrain units that he doesn't necessarily want to. Forcing your opponent to spend larva on something that they have already allocated for does hurt them in the end, because that's another larva that is never going to be coming back in the game. That is one of Zerg's greatest benefits and also their greatest weakness. That mysterious third resource that Zerg have in larva can be in abundance, or it can be so bone dry that you can't train any more Zerglings and still have a whole bunch of resources sitting in the bank. We are now going into a Void Ray by Hero. Void Ray of Hero is going to be rather gutsy, as the Phoenixes now make their way out across the map and perhaps try and charge their way inside this third base. Spore Crawler will come online just in time. With a queen nearby, I believe those Phoenixes' days are pretty much numbered. Not going to be able to do much of anything. Alright, in come the Phoenixes. The Phoenixes now being pushed back again. Queens just playing a game of darts against those Phoenixes, as we are sitting up on third bases here momentarily by Liquid Hero. So far, we do see a 25 supply discrepancy between the two. Another Zergling does get shot down by a photon cannon there, as the Phoenixes are just still on the hunt. They want to get an Overlord and shoot it down, but it doesn't look like it will be happening anytime soon, as we're now looking at a Void Ray doing a little bit of scouting as well. Now, a Void Ray is an interesting addition to the Protoss Air Army by Hero. The Phoenixes are such fast, such good harassment units, but the Void Ray, if left unchecked, can really destroy any base very quickly because all the buildings are armored. Alright, let's take a look here. The Zergling's going to try to make a bit of a run inside. It's not going to be very useful at all. The Zerglings quickly spot that there are sentries right there. Zealots are right there as well, and now all these units are just caught in between the two bases without anywhere to really travel to. Alright, there's the prismatic alignment. It looks like a roach may get taken down. There goes one roach, and now we're still trying to take down more and more roaches. A lot of damage being dealt. A second Void Ray now coming in. There's some force fields, as the roaches are still trying to barrel their way through this front door. It looks like this Warp Gate tech will get taken down. You can see the Cybernetics core is already down as well. The Photon Overcharge acting as quickly as possible to finish off many of those units. And the Protoss comes out ahead after a tremendous loss by the Zerg. Revival perhaps overestimating his chances based upon the previous two games. Alright, we already see a fourth and fifth base coming in from Revival. With 5 bases, Revival should have a really strong economy. The problem is going to be whether or not Revival has enough units to really accommodate this 5-base Zerg style. You're going to need a lot more drones. 74 off of 5 bases. You normally want 24 on each base, but you may go with a little bit less just because you know even though if you have 200 supply in terms of workers, that isn't gonna win you the game. Alright, Void Rays and a Mothership Core making its way inside here. Alright, what's gonna be happening? There is the attack. Are the units gonna be backing off? There you go. There is the attack there. It looks like a Queen may get taken down. Spore Crawler may get taken down as well. Oh, what's happening? There goes another Spore Crawler. Are we going to focus down another Spore Crawler as well? Yes, we are. And this massive army of Void Rays completely catching Revival off guard. There's also a lot of Phoenixes here, and one Guardian Shield could just protect everything. The Guardian, however, no Guardian Shield at all. Time Warp wouldn't be that successful either, as the Phoenixes already outrange and can kite all of those Mutalisks. And what is going to be happening next? Those Phoenixes picking up queen after queen. Gonna also pick up a Hydralisk as well. And I believe this is pretty much gonna be it. The Void Rays focusing down units very, very easily. You can see a queen now may get shot down over here. You can see also another Spore Crawler coming in. And this may be a bit too much. Alright, the queens getting in a game of darts, about to take down another number of Phoenixes. Sky Toss looking very strong at this point, as that poor Hydralisk does get shot down. Meanwhile, on the far side of the map, the Roaches are trying to break through that front door. However, that is not working out all too well, as the squadron of Phoenixes will be retreating back, perhaps even picking up an Overseer or even a Roach or a Hydralisk. That would be a very efficient trade on energy. Phoenixes losing 50 energy to pick off a high priority target, such as what are the high priority targets? Infestors or other units such as that. Let's take a look. Roaches and Zerglings now making their way over. You can see hallucinated Phoenixes joining in on the fight, but unable to pick up any units there. All right, there goes one drone. There goes another drone. And I think that is pretty much going to be it. You cannot pick up that Spore Crawler. Don't even try it, as Hero now decides to back off. Here you go. There is the Phoenixes now making their way here. The Void Rays are doing a very strong push up from the top right-hand side of the map. The Roaches are pretty much unable to challenge this, as the Corruptors now arrive to the party. Corruptors are very, very effective. However, their range, I believe, is just a range of is it a range of 6 or 5? Which means that the Phoenixes are gonna constantly engage against that, against those Corruptors, and those Corruptors are just gonna fall. All right, Void Rays still in position. There goes another drone, and it now looks as though Liquid Hero is finally taking the advantage and the control that he needs. Graviton Beam constantly picking up Hydralisk and then shooting them apart just to put them back down, and that is exactly what is happening here. And I believe the game is going to be over in just a couple of minutes. We're already seeing at a 40 supply discrepancy, and I don't see how Liquid Hero can throw away this game. Nope, no throwing, as Revival gives the GG. It is now 2-1 in favor of Revival, as Hero takes the last game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.